Hi students, in this video we shall discuss about the novel A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Dickens was born on 7th February 1812 in Lanford, Hampshire, England, was a British novelist, editor, illustrator and social commentator who wrote such beloved classics novels as Oliver Twist, A Christmas Carol, David Copperfield, A Tale of Two Cities and Great Expectation. He created some of the world's best known fictional characters and is regarded by many as the greatest English novelist of the Victorian era. By the age of 21, Charles Dickens began his career as a writer by writing sketches and periodicals for newspaper. His earliest work consisted of a collection of sketches of Boz. The success over the sketches of Boz and the weekly publication of the Pickwick Papers vaulted Dickens into international fame. One of the great achievements of Charles Dickens is that he effected social reform with his exposure novels such as Oliver Twist. He attacks the working of the poor law of his Victorian age. The Pig House is another novel of social realism, replete with the social analysis and protest. He died on 9th June 1870 at Kent, England. Historical novel. A historical novel deals with the historical events. A Tale of Two Cities is a historical novel in the sense that it focuses on the period before and during the French Revolution. The novel was written and published in the year 1859. Setting of the novel. Dickens sets A Tale of Two Cities primarily in Paris, France and London, England during one of the most turbulent period of European history, the French Revolution. The novel covers events between 1775 and 1793, referring also to incidents occurring before that time. Characters in A Tale of Two Cities: Sidney Cotton, Roger Clay, Cherry Cruncher, Charles Darnay, Lucy Manette, Madame Defarge, Monsieur Ernest Defarge, Dr. Alexander Manette, Chavis Lorry, Miss Pross, Marcus and Everyman, Stewart, Cabell, The Vengeance. Sidney is a lawyer with a fondness for strong drink. He meets the love of his life in Lucy Manette. He also bears a strong resemblance of Lucy's husband, Charles Darnay. Roger Clay, a former servant of Charles Darnay, who testifies against him at Darnay's trial for treason. Clay fakes his own death and later surfaces a spy and informer. Cherry Cruncher is a porter at Tellson's bank. On the side, he makes money as a grave robber. He beats his wife for praying, or as he calls it, fluffing. Charles Darnay is a French exile man living in England. He marries Lucy Darnay. Later, he returned to France to make amends for his family's crime. He is imprisoned and eventually sentenced to death. He is served from death by Sidney Cotton. Then Lucy Manette is a beautiful daughter of Dr. Manette. While her father was imprisoned, she believed herself to be an orphan. She marries Charles Darnay. She is also loved by Sidney Cotton. Ernest Defarge, a wine shop owner and a leader in the French Revolution. He is the husband of Thérèse Defarge. He formerly worked as a servant for Dr. Manette. Thérèse Defarge, a wife of Ernest Defarge and an eager partner in the French Revolution. She records the name of her enemies with her knitting. Chavis Lorry is a manager at Tellson's bank. He became a very good friend of Dr. Manette as well as Charles and Lucy Darnay. Dr. Alexander Manette is a Lucy's father, a brilliant physician, and imprisoned at the Bastille for 18 years before the French Revolution. He makes shoes while she was in prison, and when he gets stressed, he has a mandel replaces and makes shoes. Miss Pross Lucy Manette's nurse and companion, Stewart, Sidney Cotton's employer, Marcus St. Everyman, the uncle of Charles Darnay. The Marcus is so uncaring that after his carriage runs over and kills a child, he is more concerned about his horse than the child. Cabell, a French postmaster whose harassment by revolutionaries causes Charles Darnay to return to Paris. The Vengeance, revolutionarist and friend of Madame Defarge. Then the symbol of the novel, the wine cask. The wine serves as a symbolic image of blood and violence, foreshadowing the brutal acts of the revolutionaries. Throughout the novel, Dickens establishes a parallel between wine and blood. The imagery of both illustrating the revolutionaries' violent nature. Dickens accomplishes this through the people's savage response to the wine that spills in the street. Knitting. The symbolic use of the idea of knitting is that of Fates from Greek mythology. These goddesses were in charge of weaving the thread of life that dominated each child's lot in life. They also dominated the time of death. In some way, Madame Defarge is knitting the fate of doomed men of France as she knits their names in her registry. Shoemaking. Shoes and making of shoes enter the story in one simple way and one more complex way. Have you ever had some period of your life when everything seems at its worst? During that time, you may have turned to some simple activity to distract you from misery and maintain sanity. This is how the unfortunate Dr. Manette survived so many years of false imprisonment by learning the trade of making shoes. The Marcus Everyman is a symbol of pure evil and corruption. He represents the ruling class of aristocrats, completely indifferent to the struggles of the French peasants. He will do anything he sees fit, no matter who is harmed. The Marcus is also a symbol for the French ruling class and their indifference to those below them in social and economic status. Theme of the novel. First, social injustice. The novel A Tale of Two Cities presents this theme through different characters. For example, Dr. Manette does not deserve to be imprisoned for such a long time. The peasant boy is not destined to be killed and then left deliberately by Marcus St. Everyman. This is an extreme type of social injustice that the boy meets. Moreover, the social injustice going on in Paris is put into contrast with the justice in London, where everybody has to accept the rule of law, while in Paris, even persons like Darnay and Manette have to go through torture and imprisonment in spite of their innocence. Fate. A Tale of Two Cities highlights another theme, that is fate. The mention of time in the very start of the novel presents the idea of fate intertwined with the land and time. Dickens' method of referring to trees to form a guillotine in French shows that something terrible was going to happen. Lucy, though, predicted correctly about the happenings. This fortunate in the end when Darnay is freed, although Darnay is caught when he returned to France, but is freed after Gordon sacrifices his life for him. Even women were not safe after the revolution, as mentioned. Were many women at that time upon whom the time laid a dreadful disfiguring hand. then sacrifice. The novel presents the need for sacrifice on a personal as well as the social level. The revolutionaries sacrificed their own lives and love to bring revolution. The god, when he arrests Dane, reminds Manet that the interest of the country overruled everything else. Madame Defarge also teaches her husband the same thing when he expresses his love for Dr. Manet. On a personal level, Sidney Cotton personal sacrifice brings happiness for Lucy and Dane. Therefore, the need for sacrifice with resurrection is an important theme of the novel. Last, the class struggle. This theme is inevitable in a novel concerning the French Revolution. Dickens chooses a side, ultimately showing opposition to the revolution due to the ruthlessness and uncontrolled force of its aroused mobs. Even so, the story of Maquis's rape of the peasant, along with other details of aristocratic mistreatment of the lower classes, provide some justification for the goals of the French mob. In the end, he portrays the mob as having moved beyond the pale to a degree beyond what happened in England. The French mob acts with much force that it resembles a natural element like fire and water. Then we can see the overview of the plot. The plot centers on the years leading up to the French Revolution and culminates in the Jacobean Reign of Terror. It tells the story of two men, Charles Darnay and Sidney Cotton, who look similar but are very different in personality. Darnay is a romantic French aristocrat, while Cotton is a cynical English barrister. Lucy Manet gets a news from Chavis Lorry, a businessman, that Dr. Manet, who was imprisoned in France, is still alive. She goes with Mr. Lorry to Paris and bring him back to England. Charles Darnay, a French aristocrat, leaves behind his aristocrat life and makes a decision of moving to England. Darnay is charged of being a French spy and served by Cotton and Mr. Stewart, who are lawyers. Lucy falls in love with Darnay and married him. Cotton secretly still loves her. There was a fire of revolution all over France, which was led by Madame Defarge and her husband. Darnay gets a letter by his servant who was in Paris and asks to serve him as he promised. As Darnay goes to France to save him, the revolutionaries catch him and throw him in prison because for being an aristocrat. Dr. Manet talks to the people and gets Darnay out of prison, but he was charged again on the same day and was thrown to prison again, and this time he was found guilty. God in his time sacrificed his life to serve Darnay as he promised Lucy earlier that he can do anything for her happiness. By doing this, Gordon proves that his love was true for Lucy. Thank you.